Hey guys, Sweet Ang 3 here with a small little update about what's going on. Last time I left you guys at a really hard time, and a really big decision for our family was to go ahead with the 7-day notice for the removal of these two beautiful girls. At the time right now, they are still in our care. We are still working with the agency with these two girls because they have yet found another placement home to accommodate to these two girls and two other girls, their siblings. And so right now it's still really hard with the bio family, and our mind has still been set to have the girls be removed and to be placed in another foster home where they can handle difficult bio mom, a difficult bio mom. With that being said, we have come to a point where we think that after these girls be placed in a new home, we will take a break because I just found out. Hold on. Sorry. We just found out that one of our sons will be needing surgery sometime next month. I'm not going to go into too much details with his surgery because it is pretty private, and he said do not post it, so I didn't, and I'm not. And also my youngest son may also need surgery for a different procedure than the other one, but a lot is happening that's going to be happening next month, and I need to be able to focus on the boys till they get out of recovery and they're fine and they're totally back to being the normal 9-year-old and a normal 6-year-old without limitations. So with all of that being said, we're going to be taking a break of foster care after these girls leave. I'm not too sure how long, but if opportunity comes up when they call us to let us know they have a placement where there is strictly no visits with anybody, which would be ideal, I think, for any foster parent, and that this child may be going to be adopted soon, up for adoption, then we will go ahead and reevaluate it at that time. But for now, our mind is set right now still for these girls to be placed into a new home and for us to have a break, whether it be a month or two or a couple of weeks, depending on if the opportunity that comes on hand. I'm totally overwhelmed here. I have a child here that has behavior problems, and it gets difficult to deal with, but we are dealing with it. And she also has aggression problems and acts out on them, and it's really hard, but she is going to be seeking treatment for that and to be seeing a child psychologist about that very soon, so we can figure out what is causing these aggression outbreaks and behavioral problems and do behavioral correcting. What else? I noticed I have 51 subscribers now. Yay! Thank you guys for all those people who have subscribed already. And hopefully these videos have been helpful for some of you. And if it haven't been helpful to you, I apologize. This is, like I said in my last video, this is just the current situation we are in, and this is our experiences as becoming foster parents and being a foster parent. We're actually not even considered foster parents no more. We are considered resource families, where we're providing resources to these children while they're in care and while they have this trauma going on with them, I want to emphasize in trauma because this is really traumatic for children to be in the system away from their family where they were comfortable where they were, not necessarily should be comfortable in the situations that they were, whether they were abused physically, verbally, mentally, and neglected, and because children believe that the way that they're in is their way, is the right way. So not saying that these girls were, but say if there was a little girl and she came into the system because she was being sexually abused. Sometimes those girls think that it's okay, that it's normal for this to happen. But they later on find out while they're in care that it's not okay, that this isn't normal. That wasn't normal. But like I said, that's not our case, but I'm just saying children will think being in a dirty environment, being abused is normal, but it's not. And then when they actually be taken from their family, that's a trauma within itself. And then another trauma is to be placed in a home with complete strangers. And then another trauma is to have to deal with all the new customs that this house has, this resource family has. That's another trauma because they have to learn to adapt and they have to learn to follow rules and regulations that they didn't have prior to being in care. And they may not have had bedtimes, but in our house we do 8:30 bedtime every Monday through Friday. No, Monday through Thursday. On Fridays, Saturdays, they go to bed at 9:30. They get an extra hour because they still are little kids and they need to have structure. On Sundays, they go back to going to sleep at 8:30 because Monday's coming up. We go to work, we go to school, we have a lot of stuff to do. So I got off subject and I kind of lost what I was saying. But like I was, so being in this home, following rules and stuff like that, that's a trauma with themselves. Some kids may adapt easier to it. Some kids may reject it 100%. Some may adapt and then regress, and adapt, regress. That's what our case is like. She adapts and then she regresses. Then she adapts and she regresses. And then she's testing her limits and having her outbreaks and whatnot with her aggressions. And she knows it's not okay, but she's still doing it, I think, more for the attention. And I try not to pay too much attention to the negative behavior that she is displaying. But when it becomes dangerous to others, like to her sister or to one of my sons, then I have to address it. I have to correct her. I have to positively discipline her for it. And discipline for her isn't the same way I would discipline my children. My children, they get more of a disciplinary action from us. As for her, since she is only 4, we're trying to teach her at the same time. So if she isn't taking care of herself and taking care of others, for one of our rules, then if she's hurting her sister or hurting her resource brother, then she can't play with them for the day. And then she'd want to play with them, and I would have to make sure, and I would have to supervise 100% of the time while she's playing with them to see how she's interacting with them. Because if I don't, what happens is when I turn my back is when she does hurt them, whether it be pulling hair, scratching faces, just hitting them, or trying to sit on top of the baby, or squeezing her face really hard. She does it when I turn my back. So now she knows she's no longer allowed to be alone with any of the kids until she learns to behave herself and keep her hands to herself and to take care of herself and take care of others. Yes? Yeah, that was a little one. She's trying to tell me she wants more of these. She can eat a whole one of these in one day, in one sitting. She's only 10 months. So that's one thing that how we do discipline. We also do timeout, but I don't call it timeout. I tell her, okay, I think you need to go hug a bear. She goes to her room and she goes sits on the bed and hugs her bear. There are times that I can't even handle her with her tantrums where she's throwing herself on the floor, kicking and screaming, yelling at me and throwing everything on the ground and whatnot. So I just let her throw her tantrum, and once she relaxes, whatever mess she makes, she has to clean it up. Will you please give the baby some puffs? Put it on her tray. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna look into some other ways of trying to helping her cope with her aggression and her behavioral problems, because I do want her to succeed in life and not have these issues, and not have to deal with them in another foster house, another resource family's house, because I am very patient with trying to correct her, but others may not be able to be as patient as I am, because I am not telling you the full 100% what is going on with her because of privacy issues, but it's not as nice as it seems. It's not as easy as it seems, and a lot of my old techniques that I used on my children don't work on her. So there's a few things I have to look into for some new techniques and new strategies to accommodate to her and her trauma and her needs as a 4-year-old child in distress about the littlest things. So I will keep you guys updated on what's going on with our resource family journey. And if you guys have any comments or questions, you can leave them down below. If you have yet subscribed and you keep coming watching these videos, you might as well just press the button and subscribe so you can get updates on what's going on with us. And I hope to see more subscribers, and I hope to reach my 10,000 views on my channel here. I have a little bit I have like around 7,200 views here already on my YouTube channel. So let's get some more views and some more subscribers, and have a good one. Take care.